I think it would depend what other country it was. They may well be hesitating to even support our greatest ally in the entire world and most long-serving one as well. But you rightly say, to stand with Israel is to stand with democracy, is to stand with the West. You really shouldn't have to be racking your brains over, oh, I shouldn't pick a side. No, we're talking about our way of life here and everything else that goes with it. I think she was afraid. She's smart enough to be afraid of a repeat of the scenes. Because last time, Sydney lit up a pertinent building in our CBD with an Israeli flag. Guess what we saw? And she knows if she does it again, they'll do it again. And they know they'll do it again too, because that was them sending us a message. We're on to you guys. You don't get to celebrate Israel here. You don't get to stand with them. We will make ourselves heard, and we'll make you too scared to even send in the riot squad. And as we've discussed last week, the police already said, oh, well, if there's more than this number, then we really can't do anything because we're overpowered. No doubt that was what police squads throughout the West. We have seen massive demonstrations in every major city in the West. London was just the tip of the iceberg, but I'm sure they had exactly the same problem. The police knew. We can't intervene here. We will start an outright war in our streets right here and now.
Well, speaking of those protests, check out this footage I'll show you in just a moment from a train trip here in Sydney last Saturday. Now, there are a lot of people on the train, many of whom were going to Hyde Park for a pro-Palestinian rally, when all of a sudden, over the loudspeaker system, the driver of the train says, quote, "We love you all. Here's a song for you guys." And he puts on a song by Arab Idol winner. And the lyrics go, "Keeping my oath, following my religion, you will find me in my land. My blood is Palestine." Here it is. Now, newspaper reports said there were people on their way to the pro-Hamas Palestine rally, and they were sort of bopping along and jigging to this song. Could you imagine if you were a Jewish person on that train, after all the events, many of which you just spoke about? Could you imagine how you would be feeling, how intimidated you would be? That's incredible that a public transport worker would use his position to do that to passengers.
Well, the bloke needs to be found and sacked. If we don't hear 100%. That he's sacked by tomorrow, then heads need to roll at Transport for New South Wales, because that you don't get to do that. And I don't care what political statement you're making. You're on a train, for heaven's sake. You don't get to use the infrastructure, public infrastructure, to advocate A, for terrorism, but B, for any kind of political cause. And there's no escape. Like you say, if you're a Jewish person on that train, it's not like you can just get up and walk off the thing. Like it's on the tracks. You can't get off until the next station. You would feel so unsafe and so uncomfortable in your own country. It's disgusting.
But this is what happens when our governments import people who do not share our Western values, who do not share our way of life, have no interest in assimilating whatsoever. Meanwhile, brainwashing those of us who are here, who are going through school, who are going through university, who are filled with white loathing. It is a natural occurrence now. It's like, you have done this, you have facilitated this, and I dare say we're only going to see more and more of it, because this conflict isn't going to be over very quickly, and these protesters aren't going to go away. They will probably grow in number, because every capitulation to the left emboldens it. So we had that rally, that went well. We hosted a street party on the day of this massacre. No one laid a finger on us. They are completely emboldened now. And yeah, to bring it back to Clover Moore, I think that's why she wouldn't do it.
Just afraid.
Afraid. And here we are, in our own country, afraid of the reactions of people that we've allowed to come here.
When it comes to terrorism, if you say, but we don't want to take a side, you've taken a side.
Indeed.